As the WRC circuit returns from its off week with the Acropolis Rally Greece, there's going to be a familiar sight from the season missing from the service park, and that is of young Frenchman Adrien Fourmaux, because we've got 12 Rally 1s entered in the Acropolis, and 5 of them are Fords, but it was meant to be 6. Fourmaux caused such crash damage to his chassis in the final day incident at the IPA Rally 2 weeks ago that he's not able to compete in the Acropolis due to the inability for M Sport to repair a chassis or prepare another chassis for him. So as a result, the 5 cars will be for the works entered drivers of Sebastian Loeb, Craig Breen and Gus Greensmith, as well as follow-up ones with returning Pierre-Louis Loubet, who's sat out the last couple of rounds, and a returning Jordan Sergeridis for his home event. And now obviously this does raise questions about what's going on with Fourmaux. And I'll be honest, he's one of those people who I really want to see succeed in the Rally Championship. And I don't think there's anybody you don't want to see succeed in WRC these days. Fourmaux just seems so genuine, so down to earth. This is a guy who's a trained dentist who then went rallying. I mean, it's not quite the trained gymnast or skiing instructor that the Sebs were, but it's still somebody who's come from another trade into rallying, who's a French rally driver and has Red Bull backing. So it's a bit like the Sebs. However, unlike his compatriots, Fourmaux's made more mistakes, and more high-profile ones. In fact, if you were to potentially attribute his rise in the WRC to that of another driver, I think you'd probably be more likely to say a Solberg or a McRae, or maybe a Mackinnon. But your Loebs and Ogiers aren't the ones that come to mind. Now, part of it has been bad luck. Finland, for example, on for a good finishing position. Bad luck, car breaks down, and he's not allowed to do the final stage. But some of it has been his own mistakes. Some of them were more unfortunate, for example, Croatia, where he slides off on the first proper corner of a stage because of a river going across the road that he didn't know was there. Ends up in some spectator's garden, who, well, he was happy to be able to hang out with Adrien Fourmaux for a couple of hours. I think he was at the start line and he saw the car just drop, he went, oh, that car's gone through my hedge. I think that's the story that Fish told about it. And then there are other mistakes, like Monty, where he was fighting for a fastest split and then went off. In that rally, his teammate Gus Greensmith won his first ever WRC stage. Or, on top of that, you have what happened in IPA, where he was asked to bring the car home even if it was behind Oliver Solberg, and he overdrives and the car smashed up. Now, one of the things I really respect M Sport for saying is they're not going to drop him mid-season, because that doesn't help anybody. Especially because we are given to believe that part of what has brought Loeb to M Sport is to help out Fourmaux. So I think it's good to keep him there. Because I was listening to Dirtfish talking about Fourmaux on their podcasts, and there's been a really interesting parallel they're given with Francois Duval. Now, Duval was a fascinating talent coming up. He was going to be the big break for Belgium after Fast Rally Loix, of course, who had made his way up the ladder and up the ladder and up the ladder, and around this time was coming in as a reserve for Peugeot after a stint with Hyundai. And Duval was meant to be the next big thing. He was offered, I think it was discussed that he was offered like the longest contract Mark Wilson ever offered a driver when he ended up going to Citroën. And that Citroën season was a disaster for him. It was good to see him come back later and do privateer runs and get some good results out of them. But it wasn't the same as his M Sport runs in 2003 and especially in 2004. So what's next for Fourmaux? Well, hopefully he takes this rally off to recuperate. Don't know if he'll do New Zealand. I'm just waiting for the entry list to come out because I'm presuming, as much as we're looking at an Ogier return, I'm presuming we're going to see Hayden Patton in a Rally 1 car, and I really hope we do, either a Puma or an i20N. So I reckon if we don't see Fourmaux for New Zealand, we'll see him for Spain, and hopefully Japan. And he's able to bring the car home in those. Get a good result. Maybe even contend for a podium. But that's where I'd have my eyes set if I was Adrien Fourmaux for the rest of the season. What about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.